Thank you, Chung-Yi. Moving on, U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis met with President Moon Jae-in at South Korea's top office on Friday. The closed-door meeting comes ahead of President Trump's tour of Asia next week. During the sit-down, Mattis reaffirmed Washington's commitment to defending South Korea. Our senior Blue House correspondent Moon Connyoung reports.
Unshakable solidarity is what South Korean President Moon Jae-in and U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis reaffirmed ahead of a closed-door meeting at Seoul's presidential Blue House. Mattis, who had just traveled to the heavily fortified buffer zone that divides South and North Korea earlier in the day, conveyed Washington's commitment to the alliance forged in blood on fierce battlegrounds.
This alliance we have is built on trust and trust and trust. It's also developed from a very difficult war, and Korea has become a thriving democracy. So we stand with you, Mr. President.
South Korea's commander-in-chief thanked the U.S. defense chief and his latest efforts to fend off North Korean provocations.
근래 또 미국이 적극적으로 이렇게 펼치고 있는 전략자산의 한반도 전개 이런 부분들이 북한의 도발에 대해서 아주 강한 억지력으로 실효적으로 작용하고 있다고 생각합니다.
Although the allies share the goal of denuclearizing North Korea, the South Korean president highlighted that peace and security on the Korean peninsula takes priority over all else. And since peace can neither be made nor maintained if not backed by strong military capabilities, President Moon stressed the need for Seoul and Washington to bolster deterrence against North Korea based on joint defense. Noting that the North Korean regime's nuclear obsession poses an existential threat to South Korea and the U.S., the Pentagon chief underscored that America's security commitments to defending South Korea remain ironclad. Mattis' visit to South Korea, where he landed early Friday morning, is seen as paving the way for a much-anticipated maiden trip by U.S. President Donald Trump in a little over a week. A senior White House official said earlier this week that Mr. Trump will most likely forego a visit to the demilitarized zone separating the two Koreas when he visits Asia, bypassing what's been a symbolic opportunity for U.S. commanders-in-chief to stare into the Hermit Kingdom. Moon Connyoung, Arirang News, the Blue House.